Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Now that Mardi Gras is over and the Lenten season has begun, we want to thank you for not giving up the Dave and Juan More Time podcast for Lent. On the contrary, listening to these fools might actually count as penance. You're welcome, America. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Going to be followed by 1.
Woo!
America, America. Hey, you.
You're welcome, man.
Welcome. We are back. We are back. I'm home basing it. Juan is in the great metropolis of
Sulphur,
Louisiana. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
That's right. Split screen as usual. Juan, so the dulcet tones. I think I said that right. Dulcet.
Yeah.
Mr. Heavy Bass, Mr. Voiceover Man, Juan. He's working without a not without a net, but without a mic today.
Yeah, I figured I'd wing it. Didn't load up the gear.
In a wait, you're in Sulphur? Are you in a hotel room or are you guys doing
No,
that?
we're in a house. We're in bed and breakfast.
You bet, man. You guys.
We stayed here last year though. So it's well, my dad's with us and my mother-in-law's with us, so it's
I got you.
Easier for that.
The fact that you can rent a house in Sulphur just cracks me up. I mean,
I know.
Hey, nothing against Sulphur, although it sounds like I got a lot against Sulphur. I really don't. Besides, the name, which is, again, always unfortunate. And that's coming from a guy from Cutoff, Louisiana. So, and it ain't like Pankerville. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, shortbread town, man. Shortbread.
Yeah. You ever do that like in the past? I'm the same way, growing, when you're going through your careers and you're trying to be professional, trying to come off as sophisticated. And if you ever have to get down to actually the name of where you grew up, it just goes out the window, man. I mean, just.
And I throw it out there. But I also, when I tell people, that I'm from Baton Rouge and I criticize Baton Rouge, I'll say, first of all, let me go ahead and acknowledge this. It's not like I'm from some, great metropolis or anything.
Well, I will, because I'm born and bred, proud of, I will say Cutoff, but I just know where it's coming.
Say Pankerville.
I know where it's coming because they already hear the accent. And the accent must be getting, like I said, I think it's a combination because I think we kind of play it up. I went through long stages of my life where I'd rarely get somebody asking me, where you from? You're not from.
Yeah.
Dude, the last 2 years, I mean, it's not even, it's everywhere. You're not from here, are you? No, I'm not from here, but all good. Before we came on, we were talking about so we're doing this on it's a beautiful day here. I don't know what it is over there.
It's nice. Yesterday was really windy. It's chilly, but not bad.
Doing this on a Sunday afternoon, the Sunday after Mardi Gras.
Man, it seemed like Mardi Gras was like 100 years ago.
It does seem like that, but it just happened recently, and I was here in Texas, but you visited.
I was down at the Casa del Martin in Thibodaux.
Juan made a surprise pop-in appearance at the homestead in Thibodaux. I'm not making this up. I swear to you, because I laughed when my mom told me this. So my mom, I didn't know you were going to the house. I didn't know you went in the house, man. That was,
dude. I went to your mom.
Apparently the security at Casa del Martin is not what it used to be. A year ago, I was standing there pointing a gun at somebody.
I was escorted into the house.
That's right. You were standing where I was a year ago pointing a gun at somebody. But glad we didn't have that this time around. But my mom told me that night, Juan looks younger in person.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Martin. I feel older.
I figured it had something to do with the midriff tank top you were wearing, and
yeah, that's true.
You know,
No.
rocking that cutoff shirt, bro. It's
Yeah, but we were right around the corner at the house of some people I don't know.
Best place to be.
Right. And I've talked about Abe a couple of times, Abe Wise, who has worked. I'm not sure if he still works for the DA's office in Thibodaux. He was there. He knew the guy. Because he actually went up to my wife when I was down the street visiting some other people and said, "Hey, aren't you Juan's wife? And where's she at?" And
there you go.
Tom Garisco was there.
Oh, wait a minute. You had a Tom Garisco sighting?
I had a Tom Garisco hangout moment with Tom.
I may well have tried to be there for that. That's sad to say. I wouldn't be there with my family. I was there the weekend before. Yeah. We don't exactly live an hour away. It's 6 hours away. But so Tom Garisco,
good to see them. Tom, Abe's a good listener of the show.
Funny, not my son Abe. He has no idea.
No.
No idea. His music, the theme song, he wrote and plays the theme song for this. And I promise you, of the 100, I think it's our 153rd episode.
Yeah.
Man, I will bet you any amount of money you're comfortable with. He hasn't listened to 5 minutes of this podcast.
No, I don't think. No. I could. My dad's in the next room. I could grab him and show him what a podcast actually is.
That's okay. That's okay.
No. But I did get a note from somebody from Schriever on, like, I guess it was Saturday or Sunday of last week, in between episodes. Let me see, what's her name? I got it somewhere. Let's see. From Jackie, and she sent it and said, "Oh my God, I just ran across y'all. Oh my God, I did some laughing. I'll be having a marathon of y'all's videos. I live in Schriever, so I could relate to all the things you talked about." And then
there you go. Shout out Schriever.
We dropped the new, and she said, "Oh my, such an awesome podcast tonight."
Okay.
It said, "Had to say it. So enjoyed it." It said, "My husband is loving this too."
Well, there you go. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to Jackie in Schriever.
That's right, man. One might even get a mic next time. We'll just
I might. You never know.
Yeah,
But me and Jackie's gonna meet up because she watches Mardi Gras and Thibodaux on Menard too. We shared notes.
We will try to line that up next year. We'll try to get something lined up and but you did mention something kind of funny about, you said the house must be on a pretty safe street because why?
Yeah, because and I've done this before. We were in my wife's car, and she typically always drives, but we got there like at 10:30 in the morning, so she was already drinking. Of course. So I was driving, and then after I visited with your mom, who asked me, "You want something to eat, Deb?"
There's a lot to eat.
Yeah, I saw some good fudge on the stove. I almost took some.
You must have looked hungry. You must have looked hungry, Juan.
So I walked back to the car, and I thought, man, I didn't realize I hit the unlock button, because the running lights were already on the car, and I didn't think anything of it. But then that night when we got back to the house, and I went to lock the car, the horn wouldn't beep when I was locking the car, but I saw the running lights were on again. And I said, damn it, I left the car running in Thibodaux for about 4 hours, just sitting right there, like literally right down the side street where your mom is.
Now, as soon as that probably Ormond, did you park on Ormond or?
Yeah. Right down there.
So as soon as we say that, there's going to be break-ins. Yeah. As soon as we say that, there'll be break-ins, but be careful. We got cameras now. Yeah, we even got the neighbors. We have neighbors. I say we, my mom and my sons and nephews that live there have neighbors who, and they're good folks. They live on cruises, man. They take cruises.
Oh, really?
Oh, Juan, I'm not kidding when I say on any given year, I bet they spend 4 months at sea. They are always, dude. They are. It's a running joke. I think they're booking the next cruise when they're on a cruise. But hey. God bless America, have fun. But they kind of got hip to, I think, when I put cameras all around that that house. So he's got them all now too, So it's we're slowly getting to, y'all watch yourself on that corner, y'all. Y'all be careful. We got a camera on y'all. And
Well,
Thibodaux, knock wood. I think Thibodaux police does not have the shortage that our governor. You saw that where Jeff Landry
dude,
put
yeah,
out a
yeah, it's a state of emergency.
what's he called? He did call it a state of emergency, right? I read
Yeah,
that during the
yeah.
week. Louisiana Governor Landry declares state of emergency over state's police shortage. Now, when I read that, first thing I thought of was, hey, true. Glad. I'm very pleased with what Jeff's doing so far. He's got his mind in the right place. But the second thing I thought of was they got plenty cops in Berwick, bro. They got, they, they got.
Yeah, I think he meant state troopers.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, because
That's my guess. I didn't read the full article, but I'm guessing he meant state troopers.
I can give you the name of one cop just
Yeah,
sitting right there in Berwick. Nothing better to do than
Officer Gomez or something, something
I don't
close
want
to
to
that.
call man. I don't even know. I don't remember if that was his name. I don't want to call it out because he was just doing his job. Just hmm. I did look it up online, man. I think it's like 220.
Yeah,
They
that's I
want
figured probably about 150
to
for
nick me
the
for.
court cost.
Yeah, it's such that part's annoying. That part's annoying. Because things are just all right. Before we went live today, I was saying the part I miss about, even though I don't want to do something every day, but the part I miss about being on the air every day, like back in the day, was stuff didn't pile up. You could just talk about stuff
Yeah,
as it hit. And stuff happens during the week, and you just jot it down, jot it down, jot it down. And it comes time to do the podcast, and I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is a depressing list I got in front of me. Like, did I write down anything? And that's just where we are right now. I jotted one down a while ago. New York City, which I used to love. New York City, there used to be, man, I'd get excited. I used to make at least one trip up there a year, oftentimes more than that. I used to love New York. They had a record 5,363 New York Police Department cops hurt in the line of duty last year.
fortunately, all of those guys who hurt the cops are, I'm sure, serving time, at least in jail with a hefty bond waiting on hearings.
Yeah, maybe not. No, that's
Yeah.
actually, it's exactly not. As it turns out, when people are, when you got a bunch of violent chews who are, that resist arrest and or just instigate stuff and throw things at cops and beat up cops. And as it turns out, when you kind of let them do that, they keep doing it.
They do that. Yeah, it's like I said. It said 5,000 officers hurt.
Yeah.
Probably by about 600 or 700 different people doing the hurting.
Maybe. And I don't know if we're going to get to that. I would think we are at that point, but we'll see. That where most of America says, I think most of America's already there saying, okay, enough. That's when that song from a few months back struck a nerve that everybody got, some people on the other side got so mad about that. Try that in a small town.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. It's like, well, wait a minute, how, but in a place like New York now, or Frisco, or wherever, this is no lie. If you see somebody getting assaulted and you jump in and stop
Good chance you're going. Yeah.
There's a great chance you are going to end up arrested for going after a bad guy. I just don't, I did today. So I was pretty day today. I was in Houston for a little bit. I'm going back there not long after we do this podcast, and pretty area that we're always in Midtown, and I'm driving back, and I don't want this to sound mean or what's the word I'm looking for? The word will come to me as soon as I don't want it. I don't want to sound mean, but I find that some of these pop-up tent homeless encampments, they pop up like an ant pile. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Like, your yard can be kind of clean, sidewalks all right, and all of a sudden, like overnight.
Well, it's like,
where does ant pile come from?
One day you'll notice a blue tarp hanging from a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day, it's like a campground, like tents all over the place. A dozen or so shopping carts.
I saw that today. Coming out of the Midtown area that we always drive, and it annoys me because it's where my son works and always does it. And yeah, lo and behold, underneath this overpass right here, how many tents? I'm like, how many tents are right here? And then somebody else had some handiwork with a tarp wrapped around like some trees and stuff.
Dude, they'll get that's what the under a couple of overpasses near us. You'll see, man, you see a recliner jammed up there.
Why not? That's the thing. And but also while I'm looking at this, and I'm talking 50 yards away, maybe these really nice lofts, Midtown lofts and stuff, and right. So help me out there. Hey, yeah, you need to pay a couple of grand a month for a little apartment with a nice little balcony overlooking
it's a thing of beauty, man. Nature at its finest.
And it happens because stuff you allow to happen happens. The other thing I'm reading here is new surveys with small businesses everywhere. They're getting destroyed by crime, like rampant crime taking toll on small business. Like so all people closing down all over the place. They're trying to figure out. But guess what happens?
What I keep talking about with with Biden on his crusade about how people are gouging people and stores are charging too much. It's like, how much are they losing in theft?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's always.
And what do you think happens at that cost? The rich small business owners pass that, or just eat that? No, they pass that on to you.
Did you see? And this is when, I mean, come on, we're to the point now. Even when we joke about it, even people that are like totally team other side team, they might still have the Biden Harris bumper stickers on their cars. Like even if you're out there, even these folks now are more upset that you're talking about the fact that, hey, wait, he's not there. He's sort of gone. The Super Bowl, they tell us, was the most watched TV. Now, granted, you can take it with a grain of salt because there are a lot more people in the country now than there used to be. But the only thing supposedly that had more viewers was the moonwalk. Not Michael Jackson's moonwalk, but the moon landing. The moon landing.
It was a good game.
If we actually did that, the more I look at it, you see the pictures and they all saying, "Hey, how can you have a video from the moon, a moonwalk, and look at the sky? It's totally black. There are no stars." So the moon doesn't have any atmosphere, right? There are no clouds blocking anything, right? So how in the world can you show the sky on the moon?
Right. Have you seen what the darkness that an iPhone 15 could shoot in?
Well, okay. So anyway, that's here nor there. But anyway, he turned down, because usually the president does an interview for the Super Bowl.
Right. He's not done it in the past 2 years.
Well, and because he can't form words anymore. But instead, they put him on a video. And I who thought complaining about the fact, shrinkflation, complaining about manufacturers that are putting, it's all air. It's all air.
Yeah, these Oreos cost more. And wasn't that video on TikTok the thing that government employees are not allowed to, government entities are not allowed to use?
Yeah. So they, and that's what shrinkflation is. Those of you that don't keep up, it's manufacturers can't afford what I say can't afford. I get so sick of people like telling free markets what people should charge. You're in the business to stay in business, and manufacturers know if you charge too much, people can't buy, right? So like, no,
but if I charge too little, I can't survive.
Correct. The business you're in, dude, you're a supplier. You work in that area. It's like, man, look, this idiocy that thinks that people are out there trying to gouge anybody. No, they know that it's not about selling one thing to people. You want recurring business. So you have to charge something that people can actually afford. The flip side of that is you can't lose money trying to sell this stuff. So what the manufacturers do is
you've got basically a percentage of the cost of doing business. Unfortunately, for too many, the cost of doing business includes lost product through theft.
That's a big part of it, right? That's a big part of it. But even with the packaging now, it's less because they know they can't charge. Like I can't give you as many Oreos for $3 as I used to. So here's what I'm going to
Right.
do. I'm going to put 5 less in a
Yeah.
container, and you're still paying what you paid. You're just getting less. That's the term for that is shrinkflation. But guys, go figure. Go figure. Well, our Janet Yellen. Those of you that don't know who she is, looks like a gnome. She's the Secretary of the Treasury.
Right.
Now, what's interesting and let's go back. We're coming up on our 3rd year of doing this, Juan. And from the jump, one of our mantras has always been, everybody's lying.
Everybody's lying.
Everybody's lying. I just turn on the TV. Who you see? They lying. They lying. Just how it is, right? So she was, and along with others, but she was one a couple of years ago. We're printing trillions of dollars.
Yeah. That doesn't affect anything.
We're printing more money than this country has printed since its inception, right? Oh, by the way, what we're going to do too is we're going to loosen, we're just not going to make people go back to work because that would be unfortunate, right? Let's just
one thing if there were more people working and therefore we needed more currency in the system.
Yeah.
So
And by the
there
way,
was an equal offset of value to that currency.
And by the way, the unemployment numbers they give you are always a lie. They've always been a lie. Okay. That's because it doesn't count people that aren't looking, right? So it's just, and that's where more and more of it comes from. But if you remember, she, along with all the news anchors, you learned a new word. It's a word that we heard it and you could kind of figure it out, but the word was transitory. They talked transitory, like that was the new. Oh, so inflation is going to be transitory. Yes, there's a spike right now in inflation, but it's going to be They said, and you can look at the clips of all the talking heads on TV saying transitory, and my running joke, and I actually use this in a lot of presentations, saying, always whenever I hear that, I feel like the Princess Bride, right? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay.
I just love how they keep saying, the economy really is good. We just have to make people aware of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, she came out.
And what is there an easier understanding of is how much my bills are versus how much money I have.
Yeah. Oh, but no, she came out this week and said, in a hearing, Republicans still have the House, so every now and then they make you have to answer questions. And she said, high prices are going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
Sort of obvious, right? And just with that, just sort of like, well, yeah, I mean, high prices are going to be, and I don't know, I didn't see the whole thing. I was hoping somebody would say, whoa, what happened to transitory? Like that, we don't use that word anymore. It's not a good word. We can't. So that's what's going on.
The good news is inflation is only increasing. It's increasing by a slower pace. So that means it's coming down.
That's right.
When it's not really coming down.
I heard a good, and I'm gonna give the guy. It's a podcast I listen to. I listen to podcasts when I try to go to sleep at night. That's the. You would think that our own podcast would put me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You would think that if I played our podcast, which I've sort of already heard, that it would be, but I can't because I'll stay up critiquing like, oh, I should have said that. Oh, could have done. But anyway, so it's a guy named Dave Smith. He's a comedian, big libertarian, pretty funny guy. And he was using somebody else's analogy that I heard. And he said, the way they are describing inflation to us would be like a person who gained 100 pounds 2 years ago. Dude just put on 100 pounds. Then last year, he gained 50 pounds.
Right.
He said, and when you see him, you're like, bro, you fat. And he'd be like, no, I'm gaining weight at a slower pace than I used to.
Right. It's come down.
Bro, you still fat.
It's come down 50% over last year.
And that's what's happening, y'all. So whenever they tell you whenever they tell you the lies, that's part of the lie. And here's the amazing thing to me is that when you lie about something that is so obvious to check, right? When it's so obvious to go, well, wait a minute. I go to my beloved Sam's Club, right? Even that, I can go back, and the funny thing is, I can go back and pull. You get your receipts online, your receipts on the app, and a lot of times I'm buying the same stuff. I would like to know over the past 3 years how often my cart walking out of Sam's is about the same, right? But the same things, and you can just say, chick, 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 chick. It used to be, it used to be something for me to hit 200. That's usually when I got the app. I scanned the app myself.
That's when you get the basket instead of the buggy now.
Maybe. And that's unless I throw some Sam's clothes in there. That's when my bill's always gonna if I walk by and
skyrocket, man.
I know. I've been doing that lately because I got too much cold weather clothes now, man. We've had but I'm getting to use them next week. I'm going to Denver. Denver on Wednesday and Wyoming on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Man. You're in the dead of winter too.
I am gonna have to, man. Don't say that. It's supposed to be snowing. Here's the deal, and this is I'll be honest. Here's how this happens. I know that this year might get funky, right? Because it's an election year, and they are going to do some weird stuff this year that is likely going to disrupt things one way or the other. And my attitude, man, is I'm trying to front load this year as much as possible. You can stick this rodeo clown in front of a room and there's a check attached. Okay, I'm going to go to Wyoming in February. And then, now, silly me, because I have no excuse not to know this. Okay, back in the old days when I was traveling a ton, back in the late 90s, early the aughts, we didn't have Google Maps. We didn't have so, right? You'd have to pull up like MapQuest
bro, and print it out. First 3 pages, we're just getting out of your neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right. So, it's rare. It's only happened a couple times where I'll fly to a place and think I'm close to where I'm going, right? Because I'll get the closest airport.
Right. Closest, probably closest major.
So I'm going to out of Denver, right? I'm going to speaking on Friday in a place called Afton, Wyoming. And
so you're going from Denver to Wyoming?
Yeah, speak in Denver on Thursday morning, and then I fly from Denver in the afternoon for something on Friday. So I look, and the closest airport, and I'm pulling is Jackson Hole. So I'm flying at the Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Sounds nice. I know that's a big money place. I think people they go to Jackson Hole. And I got a car rented, and I'm just thinking I land at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. So it's nighttime, which I'm already thinking, it's kind of snowing at night. I don't know. But at least I'm going to be close, right? Man, I pulled it up during the week. Dude, I got a 2-hour drive over mountains.
At night.
That's when I said, you know what I might do on Thursday night? I might find me a Hampton Inn near the
get up early Friday morning,
as close as I can to the Jackson Hole Airport. Yeah, man, it's a shame I'm not rich. I mean, good grief, I wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff.
You can get your chopper in, or catch a helicopter in, or just stay home.
No. Well, like I said, I'm trying to front load this year because I think it's I may even pack a big carry-on bag. Dude, I gotta spend 3 or 4 days, and
gotta bring some big coats.
I gotta bring or like layers. Maybe like that lovely thing you have on. What are you wearing there?
It's a little jacket, but I'm tiger, like double hoodie.
Look, are you doing a lot of outside stuff today? Oh, look at you, man. You're like,
this is just this one here was the last shirt I brought. So,
go with that turtle look. They just
yeah.
Well,
so it just happened that way.
Okay, all right. But so that's what's happening with our economy and our beloved president. Although they sent the number 2 there. They sent Kamala overseas this week.
I saw that. Dude, I tried to listen to her that morning, or whatever morning that was, when the German or the Russian guy died of sudden death syndrome. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I had no clue what she was talking about.
they had her slow down a little bit. I found. No, I can't listen, but I can't listen
But it's
honestly.
still like talking in circles.
That's all it is, man. Because it doesn't matter. Here's what we've learned. I think most folks in the country, whether you're far left, far right, in the middle, libertarian, I don't know, Mormon, what are they?
Yeah.
That's not a political party, right? Jehovah Witness. I don't. Whatever you're, Scientologist, whatever you are, I think we would all just like to know. Okay, who's really in charge?
Yeah.
Who can you just maybe we found out not that long ago, dude. The dude that is in charge of like the head of the defense, what's his name? Lloyd. What's his name?
I don't know his name, but the one who just disappeared for a while.
Dude was like having surgery out for days. Didn't even tell.
No, nobody.
So
here's what things like that make me wonder. Did nobody notice he was missing? Or is he AOL or AWOL so often that nobody thought to look for him?
But thankfully, the world is so peaceful right now that there's nothing.
There's
nothing going on, So it's like if you were going to take a time to just go off the radar for a few days, right? When you think about it, I could be mistaken, and maybe there are more people involved, but I'm pretty sure we start talking about like the nuclear codes, if ever, one of those decisions of, because that's the end, right? As soon as that people don't know how this plays out, right? Nuclear, as soon as somebody goes nuclear, everybody goes nuclear. It just happens.
Once one hits it.
No, it's just, and it's in. That's why you look at some of these rogue, although, we kind of grew up being told a lot of places were rogue. And the older I get, the more I realize, oh, that's just something, I don't know that they're rogue. I think they got self-interest, but, we don't want these rogue nations to get nuclear weapons, but because that's why.
Some of them may be better than the others.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any. I'm think about that too. Like, but societies, and they say like the Second Amendment and stay armed, and like when they say, well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fight off you're gonna fight off an F-15, like some kind of uprising. They throw that like, what good is your shotgun gonna do you when the military turns on you? I'm like, well, bro, that you can't. We're next level on that. Like,
that's phase 6. I'm trying to survive phase 1.
Yeah, and then sort of it's like, well, you don't want to find out, do you? You don't want to. But I don't know. Not to go. That's what I'm saying, Juan. I start jotting down notes. We go from a cop shortage.
Well, here's a
homeless
somewhat
popping
political
up
reference that I don't know if you saw yesterday, which whether you hate Donald Trump or love Donald Trump, you got to love some of the things Donald Trump does. Did you see where he showed up yesterday?
Sneaker con.
A sneaker con.
Yeah. But here's the thing, dude. He didn't just show up.
No. He comes in with a sneaker.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can pre-order right now for $399. The Donald Trump. Hang on a second. I pulled it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The gold high tops with the big T on the side, and the American flag wrapped around the ankle.
Man, yeah. Trump hawks his new golden sneakers while making his pitch to young voters. I wish he wouldn't do that kind of stuff.
No, he needs to. Yeah.
I mean, look, but here's the deal. I think, and you got to be fair-minded about this. Those of you, there's some of you out there that there's nothing that guy can do that you would say, okay, he shouldn't have done that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They got some folks that are just total freaking right.
They're right.
And then they got some on the other side, forget it. They'd rather be broke.
I wish you'd talk about the economy
or
and
anything.
The border.
No, but what I'm saying is there are other people that, just like I said, he can do no right. I've never seen something like this. He's got a large section, he can do no wrong. They got a section he can do no right. I kind of look at it and go, Can we just find like in the middle? Can we not go there? Can we not sell the trading cards? Can we not? But then the flip side of that is,
Got a
okay,
major
wait,
announcement.
okay, we're beating this guy up. The guy who's actually in the seat right now can't get a sentence that we doesn't know what's going on. Okay, so you got that. But I just and we ought to have a new law, because we don't have enough laws as it is.
Yeah.
And this is not
at least one that can be enforced.
This is not an original thought, but I think more and more people are seeing it. And anytime you see, and it's especially the senators, they got a lot of representatives up there the same way, especially the senators. Good grief, the U.S. Senate looks worse than the cafeteria of the old folks' home down the street. I mean, we got people.
Yeah, these guys are too old to eat at Golden Corral.
Dude, it ought to be, listen, I wish everybody a long, healthy, happy life. But I think we need to look at what is the actuary, what's the average lifespan in America? And whatever that number is, dude, if you're above that, you got to go.
That should cap you.
Hey, man, you know what? Because as it is, we're going to be paying you your salary forever. But here's the thing. We talk about the salaries. They make all their money on the side. It's not, I love when everybody says, well, how do you amass that kind of fortune only making that much? Come on, man. We all know how.
Yeah, you all know.
We all know how.
That's, I hope, is a rhetorical question when people ask that.
Yeah, but some people said a good line that anybody who doesn't have that much time left on the planet should not be able to be making decisions.
For those of us who do.
And I'm not even talking to me, like our kids.
Yeah.
Like our kids, dude, trillions and trillions, and it's we pretend that we're somehow different. And the only reason that we've been able to get away with this historically is we've had the biggest military, right? So that's what you want. And the world uses the US dollar. Like our currency is what the world trades in. And we are doing everything possible to get rid of that. We're doing everything possible. And y'all, I mean, this is not an economics class, but when that happens,
you better hope China doesn't call that loan.
Well, China's got their own problems, man. China, and that is a problem. China's imploding. People don't realize it, but it's and what happens whenever any kind of leadership gets in trouble, the quickest, easiest way to get people's minds off of it is war. Blow some stuff up. And that's because you got to take your eye off the ball. Don't look around at how miserable things are. We got to go blow some stuff up, So if things ever get really rough in Golden Meta, get ready, Galliana. They're gonna declare war.
They're coming for you.
They're coming for you, man. Don't be sitting up in La Rose like you all high and mighty. Things get rough enough and cut off. They're coming, bro. They're coming for you. Oh man. Hey, I saw something made me I don't know, made me giggle, but so my weather app, I'm always pulling up my weather app. And they got ads. There was an ad that popped up on my weather app to visit Baton Rouge. So Baton Rouge is apparently advertising on the AccuWeather weather app.
It's probably Visit Baton Rouge, which is a tourism group.
That's it. Okay, must be. It was this one was all about sports.
As the father of a swimmer, I was going to say they always advertise sports, and then there's like some big competition pool, which there is none in Baton Rouge. There's one place, and it's where my daughter swims club, but it's not like the city of Baton Rouge can host a swim meet.
That's why you in Sulphur, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Sulphur, here they are advertising Visit Baton Rouge for that kind of stuff. You live in Baton Rouge, and your butt is sitting in a rented house in Sulphur today.
Yeah.
What's the other one is? Here's the thing too, and don't get me wrong, I understand this is important, and I'm glad they do it. But I pull up my weather app the other evening or morning, whenever it was, and you get like an alert. Sometimes it's like dense fog. Sometimes it's you get the thing on top. They had a child abduction alert on a weather app. Like, huh? And then it was not remotely close to
where you were checking the weather.
or where I am, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And here's what's a little bit annoying about this. So let's not pretend, y'all. Your phones, they know where you are at all times. They know where you are. They're listening to everything you do. I mean, it's not even, you can't even pretend anymore. It's not a conspiracy. We used to joke a few years ago, but you ever notice how you're talking about something in the ad? Yeah, yes, everything. Okay. So they know exactly where the phones are. They know exactly. So if you go give me an alert, give me something within, let's make it 30 to 50 miles from my house.
Yeah.
Right. Let's make the descriptions a little somewhat helpful. Right.
5-year-old white kid.
Yeah. You giving me alerts for stuff in San Antonio or,
if I happen to be there. Yeah, it's I don't know. Well, I mean, you mentioned Google Maps and everything earlier. That's Google Maps and all of those mapping programs is all the proof you need. That the apps or that your phone tells everything where you are, because that's where that information comes from. They don't have some traffic reporter calling Google Maps saying, "Up, there's a traffic jam at I-10 and I-12."
Yeah, I always wonder about
They're
that.
reading your phone. They're reading your phone.
Yeah, when they give you, cops ahead, cops, police, and I always, well, I guess I should have had that one on the other day when I was going through Berwick.
Dude, I got so remember a couple of weeks ago I took my dad to a wake in Marrero. So I picked him up on Thursday to come to the swim meet, and he handed me something that he got in the mail, and it was one of those traffic camera tickets.
They still give those?
Yeah, I get them fairly regularly. So, I told him, I said, just give me that. He said, no, I'm gonna pay for it. We were in my car. I said, I know, ain't nobody paying this. Trust me. So I'm taking it because I know you will pay for it.
I got, and I'm torn. I guess I'm gonna pay Berwick. I guess.
Oh, you need to pay that, dude. Yeah, that's legit.
What do they do?
I mean, unless you fight it. I mean, if you fight it, but I'm saying the camera tickets, that's like some.
Can I fight it if I just say that was stupid to give me a ticket? Like I was not being unsafe. I was doing what? What was I doing? 72 and a 55. And the arbitrary 55. Where the hell's a 55 right there? They got stoplights out there. They got, it's not like the poor people of Berwick can't get onto Highway 90 because people are going too fast. I mean, just wrong. It's wrong.
Well, yeah, you can fight it on principle. You can't not pay it. Or you can do what you want. I'm just telling you.
Well, here's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking, how many people get those and then they don't pay? What do they do? I guess I get it's on my record.
They'll issue a bench warrant for you, and the only challenge is if you get stopped. I don't know if it's anywhere you get stopped. But if you got stopped in Berwick again, then they pull you in.
I just claimed, bro, I sent the check. Y'all didn't get it.
Yeah, because one time I had 2 tickets at once, and so in Baton Rouge, sometimes you got to go to. I went to. It might have been an accident. So I had to go, and then they volunteered. They said, "Oh, you want to pay it now, or just pay it later?" I said, "Oh, if I got an option, I'll pay it later." And so I did, but then they put the payment on the wrong ticket. So like down the road, I got some notice that my license had been suspended.
There you go.
And so I said, well, what would happen if I'd have got stopped? And they said, oh, you got arrested. So like bench warrant and driving without,
Yeah, I know. Like I said, while that's going on, meth deals are happening, break-ins are happening.
Exactly. Because if you go to court, the police has to be off the street so he can, As a lot of people say, they'll go to court because if the cop don't show up, then they can't do you anything.
Is that true?
I think so.
Doesn't seem like that would be. Doesn't seem like that's the way to, but maybe it is. I guess I'm fortunate. I have not had that many tickets in my in my days, and I've gotten far more warnings than I've gotten.
Yeah, I got a lot of tickets. I just used to, back in the day, you could get them fixed. So,
Yeah, I don't know that I can. I don't know that I got any connections to fix something in Berwick, bro.
no, no, I got no connection to get anything fixed in my driveway. So,
And anyway, so I got to figure out the payment. So I don't know if I can mail them a check or you can pay
yeah,
it.
I think you can. Yeah, I think you can pay it online.
You can pay it online, but they charge you 20 something bucks
I was
convenience
gonna
fee.
say, yeah,
Bunch
there's
of
no
bjorks.
state fee or government related fee that you could pay with a card. Which in the pay online, you need to pay with a card,
Yep.
whether it's a credit card or a debit card. Yeah, it's worse than going to a gas station that charges you more for paying with cash or less for paying with cash. Yeah, you will pay a significant fee.
Can you pay a ticket with EBT or WIC or
I don't know. I doubt it.
is it called
Maybe, well,
EBT? Is that what it is? I'm just
yeah, it's. I know what you're talking about. It's the
yeah.
food card. We
Yeah.
used to call it food stamps. Put it this way: I'm not sure if some people can, but I'm pretty darn sure that you can.
Well, hey, you never know. Did we talk about this the other day? Because somebody had shown me this. I read it somewhere that most of the people that you see in a store using that's whatever, they're not the ones that got it. They paid for somebody else, like people that get a
Well, yeah,
card.
that's what it used to be with food stamps. But you remember you actually had stamps, like it
I
was like
do.
a coupon book.
I do. I do
Um,
remember it.
and it limits what you can. There are limits on what you can buy with it. So what people will do is, all right, here I got $50 on this EBT card.
Sell it for a
Give
discount.
me $30 for it,
Yeah. And that's
and
another one
then
of the
you
frustrating
go
things
use the
too.
card, and I go buy drugs with the money.
No, that was one of the other
Not
frustrating
me,
things
but
too. Right. Well, look, and again, old guy screaming at clouds. There were times back in the day, I remember growing up, somebody was on food stamps. They legitimately, for the most part, right, needed them. That was right, because I can think of the people and there wasn't a.
And you probably have to send some information in to get it. Now with the cards, they just reload those babies. It's like if you had an Amazon gift card and you went on Amazon and you could just add money to the card. Yeah, that's what
That
it's
how it
like.
works.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. The money just gets put on there.
Well, yeah, we're talking about shopping. This one popped up the other day, and it made me smile. It shouldn't make me smile because it's a bad thing, but I didn't realize this. So Dollar General is, if not totally doing away with, severely restricting self checkout. Now, have you ever been in a Dollar General? Now, official self checkout. They got people that self checkout at Dollar General all the time. Like right now, right now, I promise you,
they don't even wait for the receipt.
There's one adjacent to my neighborhood. I promise you, they got people self checking right now. I even shouldn't even say that. Most of the people when I've been in there have been pretty nice. And I'll pop in there for just sometimes if I have not time to kill, but if I'm in that area, I enjoy walking around a Dollar General just for like, look at that. And it's more than $1 now, though, right? It's
the factor of $1, so it's no
right.
change involved.
But it could be like, look at it, it's $1. Man, you know what? I might need a comb. That's a nice comb. That's a nice pack of combs.
When my son moved into the apartment, we went to Dollar General, and that's how he was saying, "Oh man, isn't that a good price for this?" I said, "It is, but I don't know that you really need that."
But needing has nothing to do with it.
Right,
Is it a good? I used to joke about that.
Yes, it's $10 for 12 toilet bowl sanitizers.
Man.
Yes, but
So there you go on that. Here's one. Hey, let's talk about something that's really let's get some people really upset. Because you're gonna I hope you don't have to deal with this, but you might have to deal with this before it's over. Because it was a story I saw a little while ago, And it's one of these things that's getting out of control, and you can't find 98% of Americans are like, no, that's crap. We got to stop this. It's the boys competing as girls.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
So listen, dude, you got a college, you have a college bound scholarship athlete daughter who it's not beyond the realm of possibilities.
no, I saw it happened in New Jersey in swimming again this weekend or something.
That this guy here or whatever, and they're referring to this person as a boy. So I don't know if the news, I don't, I'm saying, it's one of those, that's the other thing too. Okay. What do we call, he sure what? And it's in New Hampshire, which I believe is a state. I'm not sure. I think,
Yeah.
is that a real state? I don't know. I've been, I actually
Up there
have
on the
been,
East Coast somewhere.
I have been to New Hampshire. I don't remember what I was doing there, but I know I was in New Hampshire once. But anyway, it's some New Hampshire, blah, 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 blah. And the dude, high jump, like high school,
Oh,
whatever.
really? Okay.
High jump.
Yeah, because I think the swimming one that happened this weekend was in New Jersey or something.
So he won the girls, he won the females. Just listen to what I'm saying. He won the female high jump. Okay. His winning jump was a full foot lower than what the official boy, male, whatever high jump is. And I'm sorry, 98% of America is like, yeah, you can't do that.
It's rough to be a liberal feminist right now.
How do you like, you know what I'm saying? How do you even, just go, no.
Yeah, because trust me, again, yeah, my daughter's a talented swimmer. And you'll see, it's a state meet right now. You'll see where she finishes, and maybe the first, if there are 8 heats of boys in a particular event, maybe the first 3 or 4 she'll be competitive with. But when it gets to the top 5, 6, it's not even close.
No, and that has nothing to do with anything, y'all. That's just nature,
It's called
man.
biology.
It's called biology. So my big thing is, if not, because I don't know, they might not do this in high school. Do they ever test for performance enhancing drugs, PEDs, or?
I don't, not to my knowledge.
So I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be on steroids in high school.
No.
Okay. Well, the same thing is testosterone that's a performance enhancing drug. Like they'll flat out tell you, like that's the female German athletes back in the day, and Russian, and I'm not just saying, there are actually some beautiful women over there, but like the Olympic athletes, they wrote the book on cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where it was the East German, I guess, or West German, whatever, women swimmers, man, they were freaks because they were so they were giving them performance enhancing drugs, and a lot of that is testosterone. So that's my thing. Okay, test, right? You can call yourself whatever you want, but if you got above, if we can say that, the average, this is just biology. You're a guy, you're not, or whatever your makeup is. If we find too much of this substance in you, I don't care if you were born with it, or you stuck it, or you injected it into your arm.
Yeah, in Pee Wee League football, if you're in 4th grade, and I'm making this up, but I'm not totally making it up. If you're 4th grade and you're too heavy, they make you play with the bigger boys.
That's right.
You're too big.
You're too big
because you're outclassing the average competition.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can go this way. And
I think about that all the time, man. And I wonder, like, what would you do if you thought about that? If you show up at a meet,
and
Spanky over there's, like, wait a minute, who's that 6'2"?
Because this is what's odd too. At this meet, because this is the club meet, so it's, I don't know what association puts this on. But this is also where we have like the high school state meets, and the locker room, the entry to the locker room and the entry to the bathroom is the same building. I mean, it's the same entryway. You go one
Okay.
way, it's the locker room, one way. But at this meet, there's some safety protocol involved so that only swimmers are allowed into that restroom and locker room facility.
Okay.
So, and it's for safety of the swimmers. So we all have to go outside to the outside bathroom because you can't go in there. But in some places, wouldn't matter if you're a guy or a girl.
That's more and more, man. That's more and more. I don't, like I said, I guess when I run, Juan, we'll get this all cleaned up. We'll, I don't know, just shake my heads, and maybe Trump can jump on that, right?
Maybe he'll do something.
Just funny. I'm saying that I turned here because I'm on my big screen to the side. You can't see. I got a picture of Trump holding tennis shoes. Yeah.
They're not really that attractive.
No, they're not. They're not. they're really not. Of course, after the week he had, $400 and something million, I think.
Yeah, I'm a little worried, Dave, because I got to be honest with you. I think there have been times when maybe I financed a car and overinflated the value of my home or something like that, or maybe rounded up my salary.
It's when you, and here's something for those of you that don't keep track of these things. If you apply for a loan, and I'm not talking about a loan shark, I'm not talking about from your partner, your NOC, where I'm talking about when you apply for a loan with a financial institution, whether it's a bank or a credit union. Whatever.
You would know.
Okay. They don't take your word on anything.
Right. It's incumbent upon them.
Right, because they are putting out funds of their company, and you can tell me something. There's a reason why when you buy a house, y'all, you got to have it appraised, and everybody gets mad. I know when the house in Thibodaux, we bought the house in Thibodaux, man, I was ticked off that I had to go pay $500, $600 or something for an appraisal, and this couillon, and I forget the guy's name, and he might be a good guy. He did what he could do. Comes back with an appraisal that, dude, I could get on Zillow. It was within like $200 of what I can pull up for free on Zillow. But that's just a scam. You gotta, it just really is like, and even the comps he showed, like the houses, because that's the thing.
The first house I ever tried to buy, I offered them what they were asking, and came back with a few $1,000s under what the appraisal was. So I told the guy, I said, all right, well, we will go the appraisal amount. And he said, well, no, I still want to go with this amount. And I said, well, I'm not paying over appraised value.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's some do these days. I mean, it's, I think things could have been.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. Trust me, that was a long time ago. And it was nothing I would have wanted bad enough that I could have justified doing it. But again.
Yeah. So we're talking on a smaller level.
Bank. Yeah.
Right. And just like they make you get mortgage insurance, that insurance ain't for you, bro. It's for them. Right. You gotta have a big enough down payment if you don't want to have the insurance. And the reason they want you to have that down payment is for the equity. So if they have to foreclose and sell it, they can get enough money out of the house to cover all. So that's how this works. So when I don't care what, whether it's Trump or anybody, put down on the paper, this is our collateral. This is what's going to be I don't care what they put down. The bank then says, all right, let's go get this appraised. And I can promise you, when you're dealing with something like Mar-a-Lago or these, it's pretty freaking detailed. So anyway, the bank, not a bunch of dummies, fine with it. Loans get paid back with interest.
Yeah.
Even Elon Musk is funny.
The terms that they set.
Correct.
Trump can't go to a bank and say, hey, now, dude, I'm not, this is.
The bank even came in and testified saying, no, it was totally, nobody was harmed. We had an agreement. Here it was paid back with interest. Everything's clear. And so now they're trying to do all these things. But Elon Musk is funny. Elon Musk tweeted on X, whatever you call him now, a good question. Who's this money going to be paid to?
Yeah. There's no victim.
There's no victim.
No complaining.
Nobody complained. Nobody. But so here's 0.4 billion. Who gets that? And people can say, oh, it's going to be overturned.
Again, if you take it the other way, if you had defrauded the bank and the bank had taken your word for it, then the bank would come after you for the money.
100%. The bank would foreclose and do whatever and sue whatever. None of that happened. So anyway, that's why I guess, all right, dude, sell your shoes, whatever. Get up there and go sell your $400. But what a world we're living in, Juan.
It's a great place, man. It's a great place. Let me tell you something that's been great that's been going on while I'm here doing this podcast. It's the perfect time to do it because you can't see on the other side of me, but I can see the front door of this house where for the last 20 minutes, there's been a parade of people who haven't been me taking bags out to the cars. So unpacking.
Dude, that's the best. Y'all, I would help, but we got America is waiting for the podcast.
That's right. What you going to do?
Well, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but it's time to push the button.
It is, man. You got to go back to a play.
Get on out of here. I'm going to try to get the play is sold out tonight. So
you go in there and tell them who you with.
I think I might. I might walk up there and say, hey, that last cast party y'all had after that last thing? Hey, sneak me.
Yeah, go.
Sneak me in the back of this freaking theater. But anyway, we're going to see what we can do. All right, everybody. If you want to reach us, we ain't hard to find. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And there's a veritable plethora of other.
Well, where our new friend found us.
Dude, even Shriver can find us.
Jackie found us in Shriver. I asked her how she found us. Saw a link on Facebook that said, you ought to be watching this.
There you go.
Tell all your friends that you ought to be watching this.
Ought to be watching this, man. Ought to be watching this. It's a value at twice the price. It really is. Hey, every week, y'all.
Every single one.
We don't implore. We don't ask. We don't suggest. We don't subtly imply. Y'all,
it's kind of like an executive order. It's a freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate. Freaking mandate. Get out there and live your best life. Go for it. Take your shots this week, y'all. Take your shots. Not all of them are going to go in.
Yeah.
Maybe none of them go in. That's okay.
It's all right. But, failure breeds success.
Or something like that. Or was that cheesy? Yeah. Was that cheesy basketball poster? You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Bruh. Take your shots. See what happens. Come back next week and chat with us about it. All right. So now that I think, do you think the car's loaded, Juan?
Oh, yeah, they're gone.
Okay. Now that the coast is clear and the two Seminole men can play around, we'll let you guys all go. Have a fantastic week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So last week at the parade, I noticed a number of people who have these little, what I guess are camping bathroom tents set up. And I know it's that because you can see like a camping changing room where it's just one person can fit in there. You go change clothes or whatever. But somebody had one open, and it's basically like a 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat on it in that thing. And my thought is, yeah, that's convenient, but who's taking that bucket?
Yeah, we used to camp. You put them half full of cat litter.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good for number one.
Right. But this is the thing. So if you got to stop on you got side the road, you got a bunch of your friends at your place watching the parade. It's not just you and your kids and your spouse going in there.
I was in church at the Nichols Church, the St. Thomas Aquinas, I guess the week of the parade or after, and the priest kind of gave not a shout out, but said, yeah, we need people to stop peeing in our bushes.
Appreciate you.
He's like, yeah, we're like, we're Christians, we're Catholics, we're very forgiving, because he was explaining to the congregation why the bathrooms in the building that's pretty much always open. I mean, that's a church, right? But for the parades, they had to lock them.
Yeah.
And in a nice way, he said, because people are Jews. because they're gonna come and they're gonna mess everything up, and they pee in our bushes. So hey, Thibodaux,
Well,
stop peeing in the bushes.
yeah, stop peeing. Don't do that. Then the other thing, last night we were leaving the swim meet, and because the non-swimmers have to go to the bathroom outside, there's people around there, and I see this guy like outside gagging, and I said, "Well, certainly he's not drunk at this thing. He was an adult," and I think he actually threw up. And so I asked, there was somebody, a little gate attendant there. I said, "What is that guy just laughing that hard, or is he throwing up?" He said, "I think it's a combination of both." He said, "I'll just put it this way. Somebody did something that really turned out bad in the bathroom, and he works here, and he had to clean it." He's outside puking.
Other
I said, "Yeah,
duties,
that was enough."
other duties as assigned. Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, that was rough, man.
Ooh, I quit.
It's over. Go home.